President Biden and first son Hunter are back in Washington after their weekend trip to Camp David, and Republicans are keeping their eye on the first family, with some saying impeachment could be on the table.
We have a whistleblower come forward and says they were denied information that they should have had. Hunter Biden got special treatment, preferential treatment, and they ran this case in a ridiculous way.
And this is a cover-up now at the Department of Justice, and I also believe at the White House. This is a travesty for our country.
Are you moving to impeach this president?
Well, this could be. We have to do our own investigation. We have to be better than the left. We have to have all the evidence, the dots connected, has to go through committee, through judiciary.
Congressman Russell Fry is on the House Oversight Committee, and he joins us now. Congressman, good morning to you. There is a lot of talk about impeaching President Biden right now among your colleagues, from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Lauren Boebert to even Senator Ted Cruz is now talking about it. And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has responded by saying, all right, let's slow this whole thing down. Let's send it to committees to investigate these claims. Where is all of this going?
I think that the train is on the tracks for that inquiry, going to judiciary, going to Homeland Security as well, on what the House will ultimately do. I mean, you look at, from top to bottom, most recently with this IRS whistleblowers, earth-shattering statements. These are pretty damning indictments on the Department of Justice, on the Biden administration, that the president's own son gets preferential treatment. They slow walk the investigation. The statute of limitations runs on multiple felonies. And then it turns out, obviously, that he gets 2 misdemeanors and a deferred charge. This is the problem in our two-tiered system of justice right now.
Right. I mean, and kind of piggybacking off what Carly said, as we keep saying, the House Republicans said they're not there yet with an impeachment vote. So what's it going to take to get to that? What are you looking for this week and in the coming weeks?
Well, I look at impeachment much like I do a trial, and that you prep for it, that you get your witnesses ready. Obviously, U.S. Attorney Weiss has some answers that he needs to divulge to the House of Representatives. There are a lot of things going on. The Oversight Committee will be unveiling more bank records and more transactions in the coming days and weeks. So all these point to the same thing, which is that we really don't do much for certain types of people, depending on who you are and who you're associated with, that we ignore guardrails, that the investigations and the investigators are ignored completely on the things that they want to do, and that these things are at the top. We just had Special Counsel Durham in, and one of the biggest problems that he encountered was at the top of the FBI, of the DOJ, these things take place, they derail investigations despite people on the ground wanting to push them. And the same thing seems to be happening here. So what has changed?
Well, according to Congressman Comer, there were 9 family members who received money from China and Romania, and that in and of itself isn't criminal. The criminal element would, of course, be if Joe Biden took money in exchange for political favors, which the House Oversight Committee has not yet proven. Democrats would say that's because nothing bad ever happened. What would you say to those people?
Well, Democrats have tried their level best at every turn to completely try to muddy the waters here and ignore the reality. And the reality is, as blatant as this WhatsApp message from Hunter Biden himself, my father is sitting here in the room with me and this issue needs to be handled. How much more do Democrats on Capitol Hill need
Congressman, that
to really
WhatsApp
take this
message was
seriously?
sent
I'm glad that the
when the vice
mainstream
president was no longer in office. Does that change anything?
Well, I don't think that it really does. I think that this shows a pattern of transactions with the Biden family. These LLCs were started while Joe Biden was vice president. This influence peddling has been going on a long time after he was vice president and while he was vice president. So I think these inquiries are serious. I think the committees are treating them very seriously. I think the House Republicans are treating them very seriously. And we need to continue to do our due diligence, let the facts dictate the next steps. And look, if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. But Jamie Raskin claimed that all we would see from these receipts or these bank records are Papa John's and Starbucks. And that has proven not to be true. So they need to take this seriously. I'm glad that the mainstream media, most recently Washington Post, actually wrote an article about this, because for so long they've just been ignoring this. They want to cover all the other things despite this overwhelming evidence that is mounting
There
against
is
this
so much going
administration
on, absolutely,
and
with
Hunter Biden.
And the Biden family, and it's coinciding with the next presidential election. So we're going to see how all of this shapes up. Congressman Russell Fry, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.